Blessings, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. I hope you're doing well wherever you may find yourselves. Hope you're still enjoying your holiday season, wherever you may be. Today's video, I think, is a very important one because it has to do with the importance of talent. And related to that is another case against AI. And the inspiration or the idea for this video came from a friend showed me a video of yet another person like myself chiming in or weighing in on Rick Beato's comments about months now ago about how music has gotten worse in AI and that kind of thing. And what this gentleman said, I'm not going to throw out any names because that's not who I am. There are times when I want to, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to give you the name, not going to give you the name of the channel, but this individual talked about AI and how he used it or uses it. He's a programmer, he's an engineer, so he deals with bands coming into his studio, that kind of thing, of course. And essentially what he says in this video is that he had a band come in, and his exact words were that the band isn't that good. Okay? And so he used AI to fix that problem. So here's my response. And then after I give you my initial response, because this is the same response I posted and I never got a reply back. After having written that response down from the photo I took of that comment, I had more comments that just came in like a wave. So here's my initial response that I posted. The second response I did not. If a band isn't that good, as you say, then maybe they should do something else for their career. Imagine a teacher or anyone in any profession who sucks at it, but we'll stick to the profession of teaching since I'm a teacher. So imagine a teacher who sucks at it, staying with that position or that profession all their career or much of it. Who's going to suffer? The students, the parents, and even maybe other teachers. Making a band that isn't that good, your words, better by technology, is a form of artistic cheating. Giving them, the band, humans, essentially credit when the tech should get the credit. This is simple dehumanization. If you have to use tech to fix said talent, then the musicians are frauds. And maybe even said engineer or producer or both. My video on the response to defending Rick Beato, I talked about how from the John Ruskin essay, Stones of Venice, how he talks about the importance of imperfection. Take a look at that if you get a chance, if you're interested. All right, so there was my initial post. Here is my addendum to that. After further thought, have more to say. And I wish I would have posted this as well. Let me add. Here it is. The producer, engineer, the host of this channel is the producer engineer. Sorry, I had a brain bubble there. In this case, is admitting their own lack of integrity by pandering to the band's lack of talent. Why? Well, I can only speculate and say it's money, put money in one's pocket, bread on the table, okay, that kind of thing. And if so, that's, again, I can't say definitively that's why they did it. Maybe it was sincere just to help the band, but still, I don't think it's the right way to go. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. So it's possibly that if it's for money, they're admitting their own lack of integrity, or maybe on principle, forget money altogether. Maybe definitely on principle, there's the possibility of lack of integrity because you're pandering to a band that isn't that good. And again, if they're not that good, then maybe they should switch careers. Think of Death of a Salesman. If you've ever read that novel, it comes up in the play. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. That's definitely words to live by. But then a rebuttal to that is, if you try and try again and you're still not cutting it, then maybe you should try something else. And that's sound advice as well. So it's possible, not saying definitively that this engineer, producer is taking advantage of them for financial gain. Yes or no, doesn't matter. The possibility that they're not principled. All right, so here's the way the producer engineer should have gone if they're a person of principle. They should have said, you don't have what it takes, and be honest with them. Why? Because failure is important. There's a wonderful commercial from the Jordan era of the NBA where he walks into the locker room after a game. He's got a towel around him, and he talks about what inspired him to keep going was all the missed buckets. Okay? There isn't an athlete out there who has more mistakes than successes when it comes to scoring a bucket in basketball, right? Same thing with hockey. I could go on, but I won't. So failure is important. Why? It's how we grow. It's how we learn. Those are connected. It's how we fix and correct our mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. Without failure, then like Death of a Salesman, we're getting smoke blown up our arse, right? People telling us that we're better than we actually are. So the producer engineer is not only pandering, possibly, but enabling them, definitely enabling them by fixing the problem by using AI technology. Therefore, no growth occurs, and the band gets a false sense of worth as a band because, again, the producer blew smoke up their arse. All right. Or that if he didn't, the tech gives them that false sense of security or false sense of confidence or the false sense of worth as a band. Now, so talent is very important. Now, here's the connection to running with a case against AI. AI, I'm not saying is totally bad, but here are the things that AI cannot do, and this is from a website called simpleprogrammer.com. So I'm not taking credit for these ideas, but I think it's worthwhile to connect the dots here. AI cannot write software. AI cannot find malware. AI can't do creative writing. That's top notch. Okay. What did I write here? Oh, I have an anecdote about Shakespeare. We had a workshop a couple years ago. A guy came in and showed us AI on Google Classroom and some chat GPG, whatever. And I asked, so this is from me now, not the website. So I asked the AI to write me a Shakespeare play about Norse mythology, because Shakespeare has a cool play called Troilus and Cressida that is about the Iliad. So, it would have been cool had Shakespeare written a play about Loki and Thor and that kind of thing. And there's no iambic pentameter, there's no poetry. All the computer did, the AI did, was produce an outline of what the play might be plot-wise, and that was it. So I was not impressed with that. So again, coming from this website, it can't do creative writing. That's top-notch. Okay, it can only print out guidelines for creative writing, at least right now. It can't independently do tasks with compassion, with grace, with ingenuity, and with innovation. It can't feel or perceive emotion. And this is why talent is so important. Why the connection to emotion, the connection to feeling, the connection to imperfection. The cough in Led Zeppelin 2, starting off Whole Lotta Love, is part of that song. It's part of the beauty of that song. And if you didn't have that, then you wouldn't have the comeback to that on come back to that on Physical Graffiti, where at the end of one of the songs, someone goes, cough, da-da-da-da-da, right? So, and that's ingrained in our love of the band. It's a small part, but still a part. So AI can't independently, it can do certain tasks, but not independently when it comes to compassion, grace, ingenuity, and innovation. You need a human being there. You can't, AI cannot feel or perceive emotion at all. It can't perceive the real life scenarios. That's so important, including, what's this word? Sorry. It can't perceive the real life scenarios, including the reasons behind an occurrence or event and the impacts that event or occurrence has. It can't make moral decisions, and it can't invent on its own. Okay? It can't utilize common sense. So having said that, using AI can only go so far. And so this band that the engineer producer had to fix the problem and make the band sound better, okay, is because someone had to write the software for said AI, right? There's that, again, can't do it independently. But the overall shtick, or rather point here to make, is that I think that technology, in this case AI, is getting in the way of getting some people to learn from their mistakes. It's also a great subtitle to this video would be the laziness of AI, or the laziness that AI creates. I mean, we live in a lazy society already, uber lazy society as it is. For example, I keep seeing this commercial for Skechers sneakers. Hey, Bowie. And it's for these particular sneakers are for people who are so lazy they can't bend over and tie their shoes. I remember seeing a commercial, it's years ago now, 2 or 3 years ago. There's this woman on a couch, and behind the couch are the blinds like these. And she's right there. She could get up, it's, 2 inches away and move the little rod to open or close them. Instead, she's got a remote in her hand. She's right there. Same thing with the fridge. Get an app on your phone to see if you need to buy groceries. As you just walk over there and open it. It's ridiculous. And so AI, so technology, part of the problem. So this notion of, again, AI is not perfect, okay? And it needs to be said that AI is not a true AI because it's just programming. A true AI would be something that can think on its own. So, when people talk about, I've said this before in a different video, it's probably a Rick Beato video, but it's worth repeating that you play a video game and someone talks about, NHL, say 24, the AI is not very good. Well, it's not an AI, it's a program. So we kind of use the AI concept erroneously, because a true AI would be a sentient thinking for itself kind of thing. So if you talk about the Jeopardy, I forget the name of the computer that they made for the Jeopardy thing a while back, and how did they make it? Well, they had to feed it information, so it can't really think for itself. It's just a super smart computer because you fed it all the answers, and so that's worth saying as well. So, excuse me. So again, AI, I'm not saying totally is a bad thing, but technology can really, hinder our creative growth if we can't learn from our mistakes. And another thing to think about is the band Cadaver is an example that when COVID hit and a lot of people, most people, hunkering down in their homes and not leaving for the most part, except to go buy groceries or whatever, Cadaver did some acoustic songs and released it as an album. How much technology was thrown into that, right? So it's just, if the lights go down and you're inspired to write a song and you can't use electric guitar, and this is not the best example, pick up the acoustic guitar and do something instead. At least you're still creating. And you can go back and touch on, and of course they did that, but I'm just saying you can't depend on technology to always be there, because when the technology is not available, like electricity goes out, You just don't want to sit there and do nothing. So again, I think it's very important to point out that the AI train is not going away. But if you're a person of principle, if you're a person of integrity, I think it's so important to stick to your beliefs, your ideology, or whatever you want to call it, that it's so important to be true to yourself. To truly be creative is to pull everything from here. AI can be a tool to help you with that. But if you're not a good talent, okay, maybe you could be, but you'll never be a better talent or a good talent or excel at something if you allow the technology to do it for you. It's like the person in school who, does someone else's work because they're a bully or they don't want to do it, or they pay them, that kind of thing. So that's one way to look at it. So anyway, post in the comments what you think about this AI issue that we've been having with respect to talent. And do you think that the set engineer producer, am I wrong here? Is my opinion, flawed in some way because it's okay to fix a band that doesn't have talent? I don't think it is, but anyway, tell me what you think in the comments. Take care now. Bye.